Yo, guys, welcome back to In the Frame Podcast, episode 48. Your boy Pete, Alberto, let's get it. Cheers, man.
First.
That's good stuff, man. Episode 48, Pete, how you been, man? What's new, man? You got the fresh Padre jersey, man. Shouts to the Padres. They're killing it this season.
They are, man. They're freaking good. Just got back from, we've been doing a lot, but I just got back from my camping trip. I was on the woods for 2 days.
Did you unplug? Did you unplug?
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Disconnected?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. And then what else have I done? Getting my wedding stuff. I got a couple weddings coming through. So I'm buying a lot of like little stuff.
We're not talking about your wedding since it's long past now.
It's like, damn, Pete, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'm shooting a wedding. And then I just recently got this, or I purchased this hold fast thing. And then
what's that?
It's like it's a thing to carry two cameras, basically.
Oh, like a camera strap.
Yeah, a camera strap.
But like
the dual one.
Gotcha.
And it's like the best one or whatever.
I've seen this YouTuber from Chicago. He's a wedding photographer, Eric Folsom, I think that's his name. Anyways, he has that, and I think it's super clean. But
yeah.
So you two bodies? Do you have two bodies?
I'm gonna rent one.
Thinking about renting one?
Yeah, we were talking. We'll get into that now, but I'm thinking about doing that. I already have two lenses that I'm gonna use,
which is
the 24 and the 85.
Avi.
And I'm gonna do that.
It's gonna be a little different though for you because I was telling you when we were walking to Pappy's that it's gonna be a little bit more fast paced since you're not using your lights and it's not a setup environment. It's a wedding where things go fast. So
I've been watching a lot of like YouTube. I forgot this guy's name. He has glasses. I don't know. It might be the same guy. He has glasses, kind of curly hair. He does a lot of wedding tutorial thingies, but he has the same hold fast and the whole gear set up. He's a Fuji photographer.
No, the one that I'm referring to, I believe he's a Sony shooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's cool though, man. You excited?
Yeah.
Are you gonna be just a one man band, or are you gonna hire a B shooter or what?
No, I'm just gonna do a one man band. It's just I think it's 6 hours. I don't have to go there for like the 10 days or 10 days to 10 hours. So it should be easy, relatively easy. Nothing too bad. I've done their engagement photos, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, so you know the couple?
Yeah. But other than that, we've just hung out. Been focusing on just getting clients and stuff, and it's picking up. So
right. How's the summer been so far for you?
Like I said, it's picking up. It's busy. I have 2 shoots this month, and then one in the works. There's a lot of stuff going on in the works, but it's to that point where you just gotta filter like a bunch of inquiries, and it's nice.
So you probably deal with a bunch of inquiries, but a lot of them are just like either lowballers or they're just not your style, and
some are not serious. They just want to. Yeah. Most of the people are like, how much would you charge with this? And like that's what when someone asks you, like,
red flag. I know who you are. Don't want to mess with you.
I was like, how much would you charge for 2 outfit charge or something? And I'm like, well, like I don't even want to respond because I already know you already raised a bunch of red flags.
Right.
You just want to know the price.
Right.
So like, but other than that, it's going good. And a lot of stuff that's going behind the scenes that I can't really talk until what I told you.
Yeah.
And but
I forgot to ask you off here if you want to talk about that or not.
No, it's
good thing I didn't mention it right now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good. What about you?
That's good, man. Good, man. Just some steady, busy. I just landed probably like my fattest gig. I was telling you about this. Tomorrow I'm actually flying to
Europe. Let's go.
I wish. Close enough though, but I'm going to Salt Lake City, Utah, for the day to film some corporate stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Just one day?
Yeah, one day. We're gonna fly there, and then we're gonna fly back the same night. So it's gonna be a long day. Like I'm flying with. It's weird because usually I fly with like a duffel bag with like limited clothes and my camera backpack, and that's pretty much it. But this time it's like just my camera bag. And I'm taking that the bigger camera bag that have the tripods and the lights and stuff like that. And my B shooter as well. Like I was able to get my B shooter hired as well. So it's going to be pretty dope, man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be our first travel paid gig. So it's exciting, man. It's exciting because I really want to focus on like that type of client where I work with them like once or twice a month. And it's way more than enough for me instead of working with like, I was telling my buddy, he asked me like, hey, do you want to do this music video? Budget is $3,000. I'm like, not really anymore, man. I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have the capacity to like take so much projects right now.
Yeah.
And even though the money's tempting, I mean, $3,000 is $3,000.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, I don't know if I could take that. I'll probably not though, because I have too much on my plate right now.
And there's probably more work. I was gonna tell you this. Well,
that's more work
right now. Yeah,
music video is more work compared to what I'm gonna do right now.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you this. Like my highest ever client was like, boom, take photos. I gave them to him. Nothing asking like, can I get the raws? Is there any way I can see the other photos? Is there any way? My dude, what the, like? It's always the ones that get like the basic package.
I'm telling you, we always refer back to that same meme where it's like the $5,000 client is like, thank you so much, here it is.
Yeah.
Where the $500 client is like what you just described right now.
Yeah. Oh shit! And I forgot to say, I got a backpack too.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Shout outs to Prime Day. Like I say, like $30.
Oh yeah, Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. I mean, at this time where you're listening to this, it'll be like a week ago, but.
Yeah, I got this backpack because the when I had a think tank and I cut the straps, you know, like the waist one, which is just fucking dangling. And does yours have one or no?
Mine does not have one, but I kind of wish it did, because it actually does relieve a lot of support to your back, and it uses the hips instead of your back, so it does help. I usually use a little strap that goes from like the top part right here. Mm-hmm. But I've had my think tank forever, for like 5 years, I want to say, and it's been a champion so far.
Yeah, mine's been about the same. And I remember when I got mine, it was like $400.
Yeah, yours is super pricey.
$300, and then I just looked it up again today, and it was like $100, and I was like, fuck. So I wanted to go for something for a little bit like kind of like yours, where you just open it and then it flops open.
Right.
I don't like the whole like digging through it.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. And then I got a pretty cool bag, so that's other than gear.
What I like about your bag is that yours doesn't look like a camera bag. Yours looks like a regular bag. Like it's one of those, it's like a trendy looking bag right now with the 2 clips on the side. Like they're pretty cool. But it doesn't scream camera bag. Still me. So if you were to go traveling, like you're gonna look pretty nonchalant about it.
Yeah, and I want to get a black one too, because yours is black.
Yeah,
mine is like, the other one is tan. That shit would get so dirty.
Yeah, well, it's a light. Yours was a super light color, not like a dark tan. But yeah, I saw on Prime Day. I was super tempted at getting another hard drive. They're really, really on the low right now. Like,
what do you mean?
The external SSDs, they're like $100 off. I saw some for $50, $75 off. I saw one for $100 off. I'm like, man, like the SanDisk one, the one that I have, SSD, was pretty low, man. That's like, I kind of regret not putting it in the frame story to like let the gang know about it. Like, yo, cop right now if you guys want to get a hard drive, like now's the time. But I did get myself a micro SD card for 128 gigs for my FPV drone that I've been well, let me give you a status update on that.
And I was gonna ask you, what the hell?
So I haven't flown it out in the real world, but I've been flying it in the simulator, which is like you put the goggles on and then you're just flying virtually, essentially.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel so sick right after I get done with like a 20-30 minute session, man. It's like,
you car sick?
I was like, dude, what's going on, man? Like, I can't be like, hopefully it's not a long-term thing, because I don't want to like end up returning this thing because I'm just too pussy for it. So I did some research on it, and I found this cool YouTuber kid from Germany, and he's actually really, really informative. Man, I wish I knew his name. I even followed him on Instagram because his videos are really educational and inspirational for like a young creator. I'll probably link in the description. But anyways, he was talking about how his experience with the FPV drone is from beginner to like starting to use it right now.
Yeah.
And he went through the same process, whereas like in the simulator mode, like I felt sick, like he felt like really sick, like more sick than I did. And he's like, all it takes is this, you just got to keep doing it. You get used to it. Your body gets used to it, and then you're fine.
So how come you haven't been using it? You just want to get confident or what?
Yeah, because it's tricky, man. It's a whole different ballgame compared to a regular drone. The joysticks are a little different, and I'm talking about movement wise. Like the left is just like straight out a yaw. Like instead of turning like this, you turn like this. Like your yaw pitches this way. So it's that's a little different for me. And I'm trying to learn manual mode without crashing in the real world. That's where you can do flips and go like straight down.
Yeah. So
I'm learning that right now. So it's going to take a while. And according to that YouTuber guy, it took him like 2 months of straight practicing before he was able to fly it out. He felt comfortable to fly it out. And now he flies like a boss. So it's like, okay, I'm not tripping then. Like, I'm not going as hard as he is because I got fucking projects that I got to manage. So it's like, whenever I do have downtime, I do put it on and then I just play with it.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
What other gear have you gotten besides your
I haven't gotten any gear. I think I'm gonna finally purchase the A7S III pretty soon.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Now that I actually need it, I mean, I could have gotten it when it first dropped last year, but now I'm starting to like pick up these gigs where like I do need that full frame look for multiple cameras, where my A7 III is my A camera, my A6300 is my B camera, and I'm like, I was telling this off air, I'm starting to become a pixel peeper. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Where I could notice like the difference of quality, and like it doesn't perform as well in the low light compared to the A7 III because it's a full frame. Right. So I can only imagine the A7S, and I think I'm gonna start getting that pretty soon, because right now I'm using my B cam. Like I said, my B camera is the A6300, but tomorrow's event's gonna be my C camera. My B shooter who I hired, he's going to have his A7 III as well. So, and I do want to get a prime, another prime, but a wide prime. So I'm thinking about selling my 17 to 28 2.8.
Yeah.
And getting the Sigma 24.
Wait, I was gonna ask you, when you use the G Master 24, did you notice any difference?
Oh, dude, the size is it's insanely different.
Yeah.
The G Master is so small and light. But
what about quality wise, like image?
It's really hard to tell. I'm currently editing a music video that I shot with that. Shouts to Jesus for letting me borrow his G Master 24. I remember it hunting a lot, maybe because it was a lower light compared to when I use your Sigma. It had more. There was more light in the environment, so it's hard to tell. But I do, just remembering from when I shot, I did like the performance of your Sigma 24 over the G Master. The G Master was hunting a little bit too much on some parts, but there's different variables for that reason. So I don't want to put blame on the lens itself, but the $1,000 difference says a lot for me. So I don't want to drop. I don't know how much you dropped, like 1,500, and the Sigma's what, like 800, 900?
850. 850 compared to 1,399. It's still the same.
Yeah, whatever. That price is still insane for me. So that's not till later, because I still like, for as far as a wide, because I'm doing like a lot of interview style shoots, which I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah, simple
shit. And using my 55, and I'm gonna have the B camera with the 85 1.8, and then the C camera with like the Tamron. I don't know, figure it out. But
yeah, even like I'm an aesthetics person, so I like the Sigma, how it looks aesthetically wise on the camera, rather than the freaking little 24 G Master.
Okay, so
that's just me.
I get that part, but at the same time, for me, as like for video, I think it's a little different. I'd rather have less weight for my back.
Of course.
And plus, I could attach it to a gimbal like flawlessly, where yours will take a little bit more time to balance, especially with my bum ass Ronin SC, where it's like you need to like nail the freaking balance right. Where if you don't, like, not like the Ronin S, it takes a heavier load. You could put it off for a few millimeters and it'll still hold like a champion.
Yeah, I think mine weighs like 900 grams and the G Master is like 1/3 to like 363 grams.
It's a really huge difference. I see why it costs that much, because that freaking size is like, it's like my 55. It's so small and compact, but it's such an animal. But that's the case, man. Well, enough for our weekend recap, guys. Today we want to talk about renting gear over buying gear.
Saving coin.
So kids, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys probably heard earlier, we did say that we're going to rent some gear. Pete's thinking about renting a camera body for his wedding shoot. And it was so funny because we talked about it today. Right now, I'm like, dude, that should be the topic of the day, because I actually just rented a Aperture 300 for my Salt Lake City shoot. And so
I thought you were gonna say I just rented a plane. I was like, what?
Oh, that too, my PJ for sure.
So what'd you rent?
So I am going with not everything that I own, but I mean, I personally don't own like professional studio lights. I mean, we have these dinky lights. I mean, they're not dinky, but
they're cheap, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to diss you. But it does a fairly good job. But for the look that we want, I need to get like a aperture light, which costs like $1,000, from $700 to $1,000, if not more.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And so I told the producer, I'm like, hey, if we want this look, I need to get this light, which I personally do not own. For the most part, shouts to Ian. I usually use his lights for local shoots or LA shoots. I just take his lights and then I go from there. And so they're like, yeah, it's on board. Find out how much they cost or whatever. We're getting like bet. So I went to ShareGrid. I don't know if you know much about ShareGrid.
Don't know squat shit about that.
So I haven't used ShareGrid, but I remember Ian using ShareGrid when we did a LA shoot. They rented out this specific red. It was like a red Gemini, or I don't know, a Raven or something like that they don't own.
Is that where he rented the bodysuit too, or something?
Yes, I think so.
So what's ShareGrid? Is it an
ShareGrid?
app?
So ShareGrid is, surprisingly, they don't have an app. It's just like a website where you could rent out gear from like a random person, kind of like I put an A7S. Let's say if I put a red cam that I own, hypothetically, and I put it out for rent.
Yeah.
You could search it online, and you could see the rent. Oh, this camera's going for $100 for the day to rent. All right, I'm gonna hit him up, and then I'm gonna rent it from him.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Is there a deposit? I was gonna ask you that.
Good question. I don't know, because I didn't go through ShareGrid for this particular example. I went through a camera shop because the ShareGrid in Utah was very limited. They didn't have the specific things that I needed.
Yeah.
But not exactly sure how that goes, but I do know people use that a lot, especially in the LA area, because camera gear is very expensive. So you could just rent out gear for less than $300 for a camera, lighting, and a gimbal for the day, instead of dropping, I don't know, $15,000 on gear.
Fuck, for real.
Yeah. So it's a really smart thing to do. And that's what I recommend it to you. Like, yo, dude, check out ShareGrid, because part of the packages that I do for my pricing, I consider all my camera gear, and I listed like, all right, on ShareGrid, an A7 III costs between $30 to $50. So if you want to get a camera body, depending on what you want, you probably want an R series, which is going to cost a little bit more, maybe. I'm just guessing. But it's going to be less than $60, I'd say. Yeah, so it's really cool to do that instead of buying gear, especially if you're really like tight on budget and don't have the money to like drop $1,000 in a camera. You could literally rent that camera for $20 to like $50 for the day. And if you cheat it, you get it on Friday, you get Saturday and Sunday for free technically, and then you turn it in on Monday. So it's kind of fire.
There you go. Yeah, because I feel like now I need to rent stuff because I got everything. I told you, like you would always tell me, like, Pete, why the fuck are you buying this? Like, just rent it. Just rent it. I'm like,
try it out.
I need
test it.
Like, essentially, right now my kit is done. Whatever. Yeah. Everybody has their kit, like whatever you need. But now it's like I already got everything. I don't want to spend more money. Like I'm been spending money forever, so I'm gonna go rent a body at some camera shop in San Diego. That's where I usually go, and they have a bunch of equipment to rent.
Right.
And I was gonna go through there, but I gotta check out ShareGrid now because I need a body. So
yeah, and then you're gonna rent it out from someone that's a creator, a local creator, and it's cool because like it's pretty legit. Because I was having a conversation with someone that could potentially rent from, and he's all the way from freaking Salt Lake City. And from there, he has his website linked. He has his Instagram link. So I checked out his Instagram. Yeah. And he's a cinematographer in the area. So I'm like, all right, this guy knows his shit. He's like real. He's not fake. He's linked through Facebook. So you know he's a real person. So it was kind of cool talking to someone. And we became kind of cool. Like, I think we started following each other and shit. Like, yeah, it's kind of cool to like
meet new people.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool, man. And I find it pretty dope.
The only reason I was asking all these questions is because one time I tried to rent DJ gear. Like I tried to rent some speakers from a shop, and they were like, yeah, it's only like $50, but there's a $2,000 deposit hold on your credit card. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, so you basically get charged $2,500,
right? And
then you get your $2,000 or $2,050, and then you get your $2,000 when you bring it back, and it's all good,
right?
So those are those deposits that I was asking, but I gotta check it out.
As far as deposit, I'm not quite sure because, like I said, I didn't go all the way through with this person, but you do need to get insurance for your gear for you to rent out your own shit. So I think you're kind of covered in a way. Not exactly sure. So they make it as legit as possible, so no one could just like rent the gear and just take off on you.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm not sure. It's worth giving it a shot and do some. I'm sure there's YouTube videos on it. I know Buff Nerds has videos on it because I checked it out today.
Yeah.
But he didn't go into specifics as far as like deposits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I gotta check it out because I gotta see how much a A7R4 is, and maybe if I see some
like I said,
crazy lens,
it's probably gonna be like $40-$50.
Yeah,
maybe,
I wouldn't mind spending
$60.
I wouldn't mind spending $100 to have like more stuff.
It's gonna be less than $100.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like a body and a lens.
And if you were to get a lens, which lens would you think of?
You
already got a 24 and an 85. Oh, the 50.
No, the 105. Oh, I did fall in love with the 50 1.4 from
I know
Sigma.
You talked about it in a couple episodes ago.
But I've been looking at a lot of like the 35 1.2 from G Master.
135?
No, the 35 mil 1.2.
Gotcha.
Manny Ortiz just did like a review or something.
Fam, you got the 24.
I know, but
it's just difference, but it's not,
I don't know. It's the 1.2.
Yeah.
That's all, but whatever.
1.2 is overrated.
By the way, he's been using like the cinematic effect. I feel like that's a new trend from like the cinematic, like the kind of hazy, kind of like blurry look.
Yeah, they use like the Pro Mist filters probably, and they use
I don't know, but he was
like anamorphic.
No. It was like it's kind of like when you turn the clarity like to like I don't know, minus something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's weird, but
it's like a soft look.
Yeah, and I feel like he's reaching a little bit because that's not his style, but he wants to be in the.
Well, maybe he's
trend.
Evolving.
Yeah, maybe.
That is a trend. You think so?
I think it's a trend. I think that and the kaleidoscope thingy.
I can only imagine. Oh yeah, that for sure is. I can only imagine because your algorithm is way different than mine. I'm assuming you see a bunch of portraits, like portraits. I get them here. I get them here and there, but for the most part, it's like travel related.
What trends are you seeing since you're a videographer?
As far as video, I do see that kaleidoscope effect going on. I actually used that once for a shoot. It came out kind of cool. And then I know like everyone's trying to go for like the anamorphic look, where like the lines, like from the lights, the light leaks and stuff like that. Yeah. That's definitely that's a pretty big trend right now as far as video goes. Yeah. But not really sure. That's as far as I go, man. I don't really consume much as far as like video content, so I couldn't even tell you honestly.
Well, I'm just going off of whatever I see on the grid, Instagram. Right. But yeah, for me, I've seen like the fucking kaleidoscopes. I don't even think it's a kaleidoscope. It's like when like somebody's going like this, and then there's one on top, there's one on here, and then there's a little solar flare. Other than
it's like the RT bag.
Yeah. Then the dreamy look. What I'm talking about, like the I don't know what's it called, like the blurry or smoky or misty vibe, or whatever it's called.
Right.
But yeah, and like if you guys looking for rent, let's
ShareGrid's a good one. Look at your local camera shops. Do some comparing prices if you want. So I know there's this guy that internet homie of mine that I met through a Facebook group, and he's like, bro, like I made 6 figures this year and I don't own one fucking camera. Damn. And people were like, what? How the fuck? Like, and he's like, bro, like I literally rent all my gear. Like if someone wants a red look, I'm like, bet, I'll put that into the budget. Yeah. And I'm still getting my full day rate. I'll rent out the red and then we'll shoot with the red. If someone wants an A7 lower budget and they want like an A7 III look, then yeah, I'll go rent the A7 III for $50. Damn. And so like any gear the client wants, it's provided for him. So it's like I'll figure it out. But that's a whole different level as far as like finding certain clients, because certain clients will know like, hey, I want an Ari Alexi mini look, or I want a red Gemini, or a freaking dragon look, or anything like that, or a Monstro, or hey, I only have $3,000. Just shoot a fucking dope video. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get A7S III for that. Yeah. So yeah, 6 figures and doesn't own a piece of camera gear and doesn't take a lot of storage to like hold all that camera gear, because it gets pricey and it gets takes a lot of space. Yeah.
Damn, that's insane. I hope you guys learned that fucking you don't have to buy shit. Like just rent it.
It's smart. So if you're in a pickle and someone's asking you for like, oh, what kind of camera gear you have, and then you say this, I'm like, oh, I actually want that gear. I'm like, well, I could get my hands on it if you want that look. Just rent it out, put it on the budget. As far as pretty much it's not coming out of your pocket. You get it from his budgeting. Yeah,
if you want to like experiment, like if you're like a zoom lens guy and taking pictures and you just got like a 24 to 70 or something, and you want to see how the prime looks, and you just rent it, and then
first ask a close friend of yours, of course, not a random person though, because if anyone hits us up, I don't even know you, bro. So nah. But if you have a close friend that has a prime, like, hey, can I try that prime for like half a day? I just want to try it out, see if I like it, because I'm thinking about buying it. Well, shit, Rafi, he asked like, hey, can I rent out
my light system?
Your light system. So because he may or may not buy that because he's trying to experiment. So I think that was kind of cool that he offered some money for it.
Yeah, no, he's actually gonna pay for something. Of course, he was a homie. But renting is a whole new ball game. This is short and sweet one. What do we got for frame of the week?
Frame of the week, baby. We have. So this is at El Fantas.
Fantasma or
Pita, bro.
Butch name.
Dude, they all have weird names, man. Anyways, you'll see it here on the widescreen.
Fuck yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's always a weird name. This photo is nothing crazy, but it really caught my eye when I was like scrolling through Instagram. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, this is really dramatic. Cool. This is a really cool photo, man. I really like it. It's summer here in San Diego, well, nationwide, but it really feels like summer right now. It's in the 70s, so when I saw this in the pool, I'm like, man, I want to be in the pool right now. So
yeah, it's like it's really
attractive consuming. Model, of course. So it was a really cool shot, and the angle, because for something like this, I would perfect symmetry, girls on the top, the head's on the top, and the body's in the bottom.
The arms is like
this is in a different angle, which is like, whoa, this looks a little different, and it got my attention, and man, give it a like.
Yeah, go for it. Go follow him, show him some love.
I think he's from the San Francisco area.
I think so.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but yeah. So shouts to you, man, and thanks for supporting the podcast, bro. We really appreciate that shit.
Yes,
dude.
sir. As always, you guys can enter to win. Just tag us on your fucking heaters, man.
Yeah, always tag us, guys. And if you guys are on YouTube, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, give us a comment, show us some love. Take a screenshot if you're listening to any DSPs. Put it on your Instagram story, tag us, and we really appreciate that.
And if you guys want to be on the podcast, you got to be a creative. Real estate people, please stop hitting us up.
Rappers, please stop hitting me up. I know we do want creatives here, but
just to it's hard to explain without being an asshole.
Yeah, it's really hard.
We can tell if you don't listen to the podcast.
Facts.
Or the fucking red flag. Hey, I think I would be great for what the fuck, man? Dude, give us our flowers and then be like, I've been listening, this and that, and then
I really like the episode where such and such said this. And I'm like, all right, this guy really does listen.
Yeah,
it's so easy to fake listen to. I could go to a podcast, listen to 30 seconds of it, and be like, hey, bro, I really like this part of the episode, and they will think oh, you actually listened to it. I'm like, dude, cap, but they can't even do that. They can't even cheat it that way. I'm telling you guys, we get so many DMs about people wanting to get into the podcast. It's kind of fucking annoying.
Yeah,
we want creators, man, that genuinely fuck with us, not just people that want to just clout chase. So.
Yeah. We want to throw that out there. You don't have to be a photographer and a videographer. You can be whatever you want as long as you're creative and you work hard for what you do. You're passionate about what you do and you're successful and you want to share your story so other people can learn. Yeah, we're down to have anybody. You don't have to be shooting cinematography that's in Hollywood or you're shooting for freaking Playboy or Vogue. We want to show love to any creative out here, small or big. Yes, sir. This is going to do it for episode number 48 of In the Frame Podcast. Should we tell them about the little thing after 50 or no? No. Okay. Well, we just got to keep fucking listening. We'll catch you on episode number 49 with a guest sitting right here. Peace.